I want to talk about the worldwide economy today and how that pertains to OnPassive. It's something that we don't talk that much about in OnPassive, but I think it's going to make a major difference as OnPassive launches to the world, the global launch of OnPassive. Some of the stuff I'm going to be talking about today, OnPassive has no control over this. This is outside of their preview. But because Ash and his team, because of what they've done and the timing involved of the launch of OnPassive, I think it's going to make a major difference, not only in OnPassive, but those individuals who are participating with OnPassive, i.e. the founding members of OnPassive. Now, some of the things that I'm seeing today, I can't talk about. And the reason I can't talk about it, it's not that I'm trying to hide anything from you. Everything that I'm seeing, it is out in plain sight if you know where to look and what to look for. But to talk about some of these things just would not be productive. And what I'd like to do, as these things happen, I'll come out and discuss them with you. Extremely powerful stuff. And I'll give you an example of what's coming in the near future, okay? We know that there are a lot of tech companies online today that are not ethical. And OnPassive, ethical, clean, honest. And these companies, not ethical, not moral, and I believe, as do many of the founding members and probably Ash himself, that some of these companies will fall simply because of that reason, because they just haven't treated people as well as they should. But there are things going on behind the scenes that are happening today that are going to have a massive impact on OnPassive. You know, when I think about OnPassive, when I think about the launch of OnPassive, I am so grateful that Ash Mufareh has not launched OnPassive up to this date. Because of some of the things that are going to be happening in the very near future, as we think about OnPassive and what's going to happen as OnPassive launches to the world, we already know that it's going to be massive. OnPassive, the global launch of OnPassive, it literally is going to shake the internet. And as people see OnPassive, see what they're doing, see how they're structured, it is a new paradigm. It is a reset to business online. That's how powerful OnPassive is. But when I look at the world economy, when I look at some of the things that are going to be happening in tandem with what OnPassive is doing, I also think there's going to be a reset of the world economy. That's a really big statement. And when that happens, yes, we know OnPassive is going to explode online. Everybody is going to know OnPassive. But when you add some of these other things that are going to be going on around the world, instead of just a earth-shattering global launch of OnPassive, it's going to be 2 or 3 or 4 times bigger than we expected it to be. When you understand the consequences to those individuals that are participating with OnPassive and OnPassive itself, OnPassive is in a unique position to be so much bigger than even Ash Mufareh has been talking about. And when Ash comes at us and says, listen, you all don't understand how big OnPassive is, and I want you to start dreaming bigger. I believe, because of what I'm seeing, that it's even going to be bigger than what Ash thinks. So this is a really unique time. If you see what's coming, you're really excited, not only for yourself, your family, being able to take care of that bottom line, that financial future, but you're really excited for those individuals that have come in and are participating with OnPassive and are founding members of OnPassive. I'm not going to get in, again, I'm not going to get into any great depth on what I'm seeing online. Like I've said, I'm not trying to hide anything from you. Everything is in plain sight if you know what to look for and where to look. What I want to tell you is the impact that it will have on OnPassive is massive. and a very positive impact on OnPassive. Why? OnPassive is honest, clean, and ethical, okay? When you have a company like that, something that the world is starving for, and as they come online, there is a definite reset on how you do business online, and then these other things that are going to be happening. If you are a founding member, I believe in a very short period of time, you just won't have to even think about finances. That's how powerful what's happening, what's coming is going to be with OnPassive. And again, the things that I'm looking at, they are out of the preview of OnPassive. OnPassive has no control over any of this stuff. But as it comes out in tandem with OnPassive doing the global launch, it's extremely, extremely powerful for all of us. And really that is the reason for this video. To get you thinking where we're at, where we're going, and whatever you're thinking, as Ash tells us, it's so much bigger than that. So as these things start to unfold, and they will very, very quickly, I believe, I'll come on and we'll talk about them. I think you'll get very, very excited about a lot of these things that are going to be happening in the next 30, 60, 90 days, somewhere in there. And they all tie in to OnPassive launching. They tie in indirectly to OnPassive launching to the world. And as that happens, they're going to combine, and OnPassive is just, it's going to be a double explosion online. So I wanted to come out and just share that with you. There are some really, really good things coming in the near future. I know if you look at the news today, there's just so many negative things out there. OnPassive is not one of them. And I believe the economy around the world is going to turn around, and some really, really positive things are going to be happening. And that negativity that perhaps some of you are feeling today, it's just going to dissipate, guys. Don't worry about it. Really, really good things are happening. And as OnPassive launches to the world, as a founding member of OnPassive, it's a done deal, okay? Now, I want to talk about one other thing just very, very quickly, guys. We have new founders coming in every day, and a lot of the new founders, they're going and looking at some of my old videos, like a year and a half, 2 years old. And on those old videos, there is a payment chart of OnPassive. And if you see that payment chart, ignore it. It is not the pay structure of OnPassive. Now, I've tried to get rid of as many videos as I could find with that chart on there, so it'll get harder and harder for people to find it. But if you're new, you've only been in for a little while, and you look at one of those videos that has that chart on there, it's irrelevant. That chart was put there as an example of what OnPassive could do for us. Now, Ash Mufareh has told us that the pay structure of OnPassive, regardless of what you've seen, is better than that. Way, way better than that. He's also told us that it's very, very simple to understand. In other words, you see it, you go, wow, that's perfect. Very complicated, but very, very easy to understand. So if you see that chart in one of my old videos, just ignore it. I have gone back and deleted as many of those as I could find, but it's not relevant today. Ash Mufareh will share the pay structure of OnPassive as we get closer to the hard launch of OnPassive. We'll probably know it before we get into the hard launch. I'm sure we will. And when you guys see it, I believe, based on what Ash Mufareh has said, we're all going to just go, wow, I'm glad I'm where I'm at. So that's it for today, guys. Just a little bit about the world economy, what I'm seeing, and the chart that you're seeing about the pay structure, ignore it. It's not the real pay structure. It was just an example that was put out there. And again, Ash will show us the real pay structure as we get closer to hard launch and we get into the hard launch, the global launch of OnPassive. So that's it for today, guys. Have a great weekend. It's Thursday today. Weekend's coming up. Have a great weekend. I believe Ash is going to be out very, very quickly with some great news about OnPassive. Hopefully, he'll give us a time frame. He'll give us the nod for a time schedule, a time frame as OnPassive rolls out. So that's it for today, guys. Again, have a great weekend, and we'll absolutely see you at the top. Take care. Bye.